Creating marketing campaigns within candidate relationship management. To create an email marketing campaign within candidate relationship management, there are three different components that we need to consider. First is the email layout. Second is the actual content template that you can create. And then finally is the email campaign. First, we'll be focusing on the email layout of the email campaign. The email layout is actually controlled within Career Site Builder. So once properly enabled, once CRM is properly enabled, you will be able to view email within the layout section of Career Site Builder. So we'll jump in there and we'll start creating a campaign. So to create a campaign or create a layout, we'll go and click Add. And here we will give it a name. We'll do test 1, 2, 3, for example. We have the ability to select different locales that are enabled within Career Site Builder. And we do have the ability to enable different brands as well that we've set up within Career Site Builder. Once we have selected the name, locale, and brand, we'll go ahead and hit save. Next, it will push you over to the email layout tab, but you will see there are two different tabs as well here. One thing that you want to make sure not to skip over is the active. If we want to make this layout active, we're going to go ahead and click active. Under styles, this is essentially just the background of the layout, and you can select one solid color for that. We'll go ahead and keep ours white for this example. And then finally is the email layout, which will look very similar to the rest of the Career Site Builder pages, whether it's the content, category, or home pages within Career Site Builder, and some of the components that are available there. But the actual user experience here should look very similar, given we are creating this within Career Site Builder. One thing that you'll note is this component, the configurable text area component, is added by default and is required in order to create your email layout, as this will essentially be the area where your content of the email that we'll get into here in a bit will be located. So we'll create the header and the footer and kind of around where that content will be located. This is required, as that's where kind of that text and various imagery of what you want to broadcast to those candidates will be located. If you tried to delete this and save it, you technically are unable to. So just know that you do need this in here. The components that are available within the email layout section are the header, footer, text, and HTML components. So for this example, let's go ahead and create a header. We'll move that up, and we'll also add in a footer. We'd like to put a footer in there. And I actually have some HTML in my demo instance that I can add in as an example, and really allows the customers to get a little bit more creative with the templates and the layouts that they're creating. First, we'll jump into the header. And again, defaults to the logo section here, but we want to make sure that we add in the detail information of what we want on the header itself. I'm just going to put in a little bit of text here, and I'm actually going to keep that left of the logo. So we want the logo on the left side, and then the text on the right side. I'm going to center that. I'm going to make the text a little bit bigger as well, and I want to go ahead and change this font too. Okay, and now let's go ahead and upload a logo. We'll do test logo, and we'll change the image, and we'll go from our image library here. So here we've added our logo in, and we've given it a title. And then here, of course, we have the ability to add a background color and then change the color of the header text as well. Let's go ahead and keep that as the gray text, and we'll keep this as the yellow. If at any point we want to view what that looks like, we can hit the preview option, and we can see that right there. So after we have previewed that, we like what we have there. Let's just go ahead and save for now. and we have built out a header. Next, what we want to do is we have this little piece of HTML here that we want to add in. We'll go ahead and leave the background color as white, but let's add in our snippet of HTML to add in that image that we have there. Let's go ahead and save that. We will again leave the configurable text area located here, and then we'll add in the footer. Any styling that we want to do, let's make this consistent with the header color as well as the text there. So let's go ahead and save. And now let's go ahead and preview our final product. So we have a nice little email layout here where if you can see right below this image in blue here that I've selected, right below that is where all of our content would go, as we're going to build that out here in a second. But we have the header up above, we have the image, that HTML image that we included, and we have a footer below as well. So this is the layout that we would then use for this specific campaign. You can create as many layouts as you see fit to align with any of your branding standards. All right, so once we've created the email layout, again, if we ever needed to go back in there and edit it, we could simply just hit that pencil icon and jump back in, as well as preview via the link option there. But after we've created the email layout, then we'll actually go back into recruiting, into Admin Center, and go about creating our content for the email campaigns that we'll be launching. So with the proper permission, the email campaign content would be available. Manage email campaign content templates. In this section, you can essentially create content templates if you're going to be kind of repurposing information for various campaigns. So if you have a lot of different maybe college career fairs, specifically for some of your internship positions, would be a great use case. A lot of that same content is going to go out for all the different career fairs. Maybe you'll be tweaking a little bit of the little bit of the information specific for the audience or for the career fair that you went out to, but kind of the core of that content is going to remain the same. You can come in here and create these templates, which will speed up the process for creating your email marketing campaigns. So to create an email content template, we'll go ahead and hit New Content Template. We have the ability to select different locales. We'll keep this one here. The status of it, we'll want to make sure that's enabled if we want to use it, and then we'll give it a name as well. We can include a subject line here. So we'll do college students. You would definitely want to make sure the email subject line is very engaging and something that the candidate would potentially open up and encourage them to open up the email in order to access the content from your email campaigns. Now, within the actual content here, again, this is going to be kind of the email body of your marketing email. Here you can input any of the content that you would like to deliver out for your email campaigns. I do have some information that I'm just going to copy in here. And this is kind of the core information that I would like to broadcast to candidates moving forward. So a lot of this content can be kind of repurposed. And when we get into the email campaign section, we can tweak whatever information and text that we need to. What you'll see up above is we do have a token in here. There are 4 supported tokens, which can be accessible via the recipient field here. So when we click that, we can see that we can pull in the candidate first name, last name, email address, and then actually this URL for consent to marketing campaigns. So I think on the data capture form, there is an option to opt in to receiving marketing email campaigns. This is that checkbox. If a candidate came through, created their profile, but did not opt in, you have the ability to add in this URL that would could get sent out. And then once that candidate clicks that link and accepts, opting in to the email marketing campaigns, you now can market emails to them moving forward. So just for example, that adds in that token right there. So I have all my content here. One thing that we've seen work well with customers is inputting maybe specific information that you would be tweaking for each career fair. So again, I'm kind of repurposing this template to be used across all of our career fairs, but we want to make it specific for the universities that we're going to. So this would just kind of be an internal token to note, hey, once we get to the email campaign stage, I need to make sure to update this information so it is specific to the candidate and resonates a little bit more with them. This would not automate and pull in the university. The only tokens, again, that are available are the 4 that I showed. This would just be more for internal purposes. Once I'm satisfied with my template, though, I can go ahead and hit save. But again, you have all of the different customizing options here to make your content look pretty on the email. All right, I have saved that. I'm going to go back in to the Manage Email Campaign Content Template section. And now we can see our test 1, 2, 3 template is available here. After we've created the email campaign content templates, next we'll have to create the email campaign itself within recruiting. So we'll go ahead and jump over to that. Once properly permissioned, you will see the marketing tab, and that is where all of your email campaigns will be sent out from and can be further built out within this marketing tab here. There are some filtering options which can be very helpful as you develop more and more campaigns. You can filter by any of the information up above, whether it's brand, locale, the status, maybe if an email has been sent out or is being scheduled, as well as who created this one. So if you only wanted to look by your emails, you have the ability to filter that way. You'll see then below all of those filter options are listed with all the columns as well. The status of your email, date sent, etc., down to created by and the descriptions. So if I want to set up a net new email campaign, I'm going to go ahead and hit new campaign here. I'm going to give it a name. I have the ability to add a description. So as you develop lots of email campaigns, the description field would be, definitely necessary. It's not required, but would certainly be necessary as you develop lots of these. I can select my locale again, my brand, the email campaign code, which can be accessible via reporting to view in-depth analytics. You have the ability to add in various email campaign codes. By default, it will pull in the email campaign name, but if you structure your campaign codes differently, you can alter and edit that text there. The email details, there is a required field here from who the display name would come from. So we'll say sapta@sap.com. We'll keep that consistent with the reply to name, and then the reply to email address, we'll keep that consistent, but of course we have the ability to alter any of this information here. There are many different ways to add candidates to your email campaigns. You can do so right here within the email campaign, as well as a couple of different areas of CRM as well. So if we did manually add in candidates, so say from the candidates tab, we search for candidates and then specifically selected individuals to add to the email campaign, we could actually view those users here, and then we could filter by those recipients. Additionally, if we added in talent pools, we could add in those users here as well. So for example, we have a college career fair talent pool. Let's go ahead and add in that specific talent pool, and it looks like there's 5 members in there. So we've added in that talent pool, as you can see here. We'll jump into the other ways of how to add in candidates here after we get through the core content of this email campaign. So again, the email subject line, we want to have something engaging that would encourage the candidate to open up the email and view any of the content there. Now we created those email layouts as well as content templates. We want to make sure that we're going to pull in that information. One thing to note is if you created an email layout or content template within a specific brand, make sure that brand is also selected up here, as it will filter in that information. So email layout, let's go ahead and select the one we created, test 1, 2, 3. If we wanted to preview that, we could view that here to make sure we are grabbing the right one. And then we're also going to pull in that content template that we created as well. And you can see once we pull that in, it automates the content or email body for what we want here. A reminder, we included kind of this little internal note to update information. So let's make sure to update that with actual information to make sure it's broadcast to the candidate correctly. So if we're comfortable with what we have here, we don't want any more tweaks. We have everything that we want. We could either save it or go ahead and review it if we're ready to schedule it or send out the email campaign. Once you hit review email, it's actually giving you kind of a review stage where you can, again, review all the campaign detail informations, the name, the description, all of that information that we inputted on the previous screen, how many people it's being sent out to, what the overall subject looks like, the reply to, and then kind of all of the content here of what our email campaign is going to look like. We do have the ability to send out a test email. Reminder that in the stage environment, the only test emails that can be sent out are to an @SAP email address. In production, you can send out test emails to any email alias there. If we're ready then to send out the email, we can send it immediately. So we want to send that right now. Or what we can do, which is a great feature of the email campaigns within CRM, is the scheduling feature. We can send it out at a specific date and time and schedule those out maybe to be in the candidate's inbox Monday morning. Maybe that's a great time to deliver these email campaigns. Otherwise, we've also seen customers leverage this in more of kind of that drip campaign mentality, where we could create several different email campaigns and kind of make sure to schedule those out a week in advance and have those kind of layered out to hit the candidates, every so often, and really target those candidates and push those messages to them like we want to. So we're actually gonna just save that one for now. So it is in draft status right there. It's gonna come back here. Let's make sure we hit save. And let's go back to our email campaigns. We can see that it is in draft status there. And we also have, some sent out emails. Each email can only be sent out one time. So something to take note of, that this email was only sent out one time. After it is sent out, we can view what that looks like. Again, kind of a snapshot of what the email overall looks like. And then the recipients some preliminary stats as well on who's viewing the email, who's clicking on links inside of the email, who maybe would have unsubscribed, it wasn't sent to, undeliverable, any of that information right there. So quickly jumping back to how to add candidates to your emails. Again, we can manually add in candidates. So if we did that option here, we did a quick search. We found some great candidates that we want to be able to send the emails to. We're going to select, let's say, a couple of those. We'll go Actions, Add to Email Campaign right here. And then we would select our Test 1, 2, 3 option. If we had specific talent pools that we're already building out, we can add those directly on the email, as I showed that option previously. And we could also add in an entire talent pool right here within the talent pool section as well. So if we clicked on into this and say, let's click all, and add to email campaign, again, finding our email campaign and selecting that one. We could add all of those. If there was a set of users, we could just grab a couple of them and then add those candidates in as well. So if we went back to the email marketing campaign section, we would see that we have those talent pool individuals on there, as well as our 2 manually added candidates in there too. So we can see the 1 talent pool and 2 manually added recipients. So that is email marketing campaigns.